right back, Steve Chettle, is 19. Terry Wilson, who stepped into the Ian Bowyer midfield role, is still 18. The average age 22, the total cost less than United paid for Brian Robson. And they're unchanged despite that mini disaster, as Brian Clough called it, at Main Road. It's a new pitch here, and it's still in need of heavy watering to bind it together, particularly on the near side. It's a damp but mild afternoon. Ian Storey-Moore, this meeting between your two old clubs, how do you see this one going?
Well, I've had the opportunity of seeing Nottingham Forest play on quite a number of occasions this season, and they're playing extremely well. They had a slight indiscretion against Manchester City on Wednesday night, but I'm sure they'll bounce back from that, knowing Brian Clough. I watched the televised game between Manchester United and West Ham last Sunday on TV, and although I thought that Manchester United looked a very efficient and organised side, I thought they perhaps lacked a little bit of flair and improvisation that may be needed to win championships and trophies.
Do you think the youth of Forest will be more of a disadvantage as the season goes on?
Well, I don't think so. I think Brian Clough, he relies on youth to some extent, and he certainly knows how to motivate them. Whether he's motivated them enough after having a bad performance at Main Road on Wednesday night, I don't know. It'll be interesting to observe whether they can cope with the atmosphere here today.
Referee John Deakin is having a good week. He's in the RAF. He was promoted to the rank of warrant officer on Monday, and now he's refereeing at Old Trafford for the first time. Two sides here with a special interest in Liverpool's show of vulnerability in midweek. Forest in their change strip of white shirts and dark shorts, and a promising early break for them, which saw Neil Webb coming in on the cross, which was delivered by Paul Wilkinson. Brian Robson taking the free kick quickly. Anderson, who won a championship medal with Forest back in 1978. Forest have won their last 5 league games without conceding a goal. Foster. Colin Foster was substituted at Main Road in midweek because he was having a bad time and not because he was injured, as some viewers thought. Forest have won here twice in the last 4 league visits, on one occasion when their scorers were Anderson and Davenport. Steve Chettle keeping an eye on Jesper Olsen. Gibson, the scorer of United's goal at West Ham last Sunday, in a match that everybody connected with this club feels they should have won. And really that's been the most disappointing feature about Manchester United's play this season. They've only been beaten once, but they've won 6 and drawn 6, and it's been the inability to turn those draws into victories which has left them a little bit behind Liverpool and Queen's Park Rangers at this stage. No damage to Olsen. And Kevin Moran making his way forward for the free kick. Anderson is making a run around the penalty spot. Moran coming in behind him. I think it was Anderson who got there first. He's chipped in with valuable goals for Forest in the past, of course, and for Arsenal more recently. And that was very close. Olsen. Gibson's crossed. Foster got into the right place. Corner was prevented by Chettle. Obstruction by the 19-year-old on Colin Gibson. And it's all Manchester United down their left-hand side at the moment. Moran. McLeod. Well, Forest will be concerned at the way Manchester United are winning the headers in their penalty area at the moment. That was Kevin Moran, and McClare couldn't get enough on the shot. Robson broadening the build-up. Olsen, Gibson's gone ahead of him. Olsen looks to take the inside route. Whiteside. It's flicked in a promising way for Manchester United. Maybe Gibson could do the same. Or Whiteside again. Davenport. A gap that was plugged by Foster for Forest. Forest have already shown their potential as a side that can break. It's Rice finding Carr. 4 players in the middle, and it struck an arm, but not intentionally. The arm belonged to Kevin Moran. John Deakin, the referee, was very close to the incident and had no doubts, despite the roar from 1 or 2 Forest fans close to the incident. Chettle. Again, an authoritative punch by Gary Walsh. Carr slips Robson, who then impeded him. No policy of containment here by Nottingham Forest. And again, they turn on the referee. It was an arm raised. And the Forest players certainly thought, as the ball was played in, that that cluster of players there had a hand go up. Nothing given. Walker, glanced on by Webb. In from Rice. It's Carr. He was denied by Moran. Foster. Now Webb. Off the bar. And a goal kick. Neil Webb close to crowning that little spell of Forest pressure with the opening goal. Foster couldn't really do much with the ball, but help it on. And a little dink onto the top of the bar from Neil Webb. Reclaim it. Des Walker was overconfident then. I think he knew the measure of Peter Davenport in terms of speed. Was happy to turn away, but that was the difficult point for him when he lost his balance, and then Sutton was very grateful that the back pass wasn't hit any harder. Garton. Again, United being pushed into hitting it long. Forest, by and large, are dealing with that quite comfortably until the header goes astray from Foster. Olsen, Gibson galloping up outside him. Whiteside joining McClare in the middle, and the understanding on the left for United not working on that occasion. Carr, Wilkinson is clear, it's a clear chance, it's a goal for Nottingham Forest, for Paul Wilkinson, which you can trace back to United giving the ball away at the other end of the field. Wilkinson got free from Carr's pass, and as Walsh rushed out, he could do nothing about it. 27 minutes played. And Nottingham Forest, so effective away from home in the First Division, have struck the first blow here. From the player they signed from Everton, his 5th goal of the season. Well, over the years, Lions have counter-attacked to great purpose as they did then. But Manchester United have a corner. The value of speed on the break most clearly shown, and speed of thought as well as speed of movement. Sutton's in trouble, but only because he was fouled. The corner curving back in towards Steve Sutton. Davenport seemed to be jumping for the ball, but with an arm trailing. Anderson. For the second time in a matter of seconds, Walker was in too quickly for Manchester United, but Webb playing his team into trouble, and who's there again but Des Walker. Well, he got himself out of it, but only just. A clear belief in his own ability Des Walker has. At times it can make it very difficult for the manager watching from the touchline, but the talent is there without any shadow of doubt. Interception from Carr. Here's McClare. And Rice couldn't get there. Anderson looking to have a run at Pearce, get beyond him. It was a good idea, not quite executed. Garton at the near post. And he flicked it on. And I wonder how that didn't go in. Because from the moment the first touch was made, it seemed only to need a second and final touch to bring United level. Anderson, in fact, headed against his own player. That was unlucky. Whiteside. Harris by Terry Wilson. Robson gambled that Whiteside would get the ball. That's a lovely pass for Peter Davenport. And for Olsen. Duxbury. Robson would rather get it on the left foot. Has! And it didn't curve enough. He played a huge part earlier in the move and really deserved the right to finish it. Olsen had the first strike. Duxbury unselfishly looked for his captain. The little chink took him past Wilson, but the ball went past the post. Maybe a measure of the first half that two of the better Manchester United chances went to Viv Anderson. Brian Robson came close near the end, but the one goal, almost a Nottingham Forest classic really, in that they caught their opponents yet again with a swift breakaway, with Franz Carr, after a mistake between Gibson and Olsen at the other end of the field. Carr picked out Wilkinson, and here at Old Trafford, Nottingham Forest far.
Well, I think Manchester United certainly had the better of the opening exchange, and perhaps unfortunate not to be 2 goals ahead in the first 10 minutes. But typically, Forest have clawed themselves back into the game, perhaps reminiscent of the late 1970s when they were winning trophies in Europe and the league championships. They clawed their way back into the game, scored a typical goal on the break, and thoroughly deserved the half-time lead.
Which particular players have caught your eye? I know that Forest, with Des Walker at the back, is somebody you admire.
Oh, he's played extremely well. I've never seen the lad have a bad game, actually. He's quietly efficient in everything he does. And he's completely subdued Peter Davenport, who has been extremely disappointing. I saw him play on many occasions for Nottingham Forest, and he looked a far better player there. But probably this is playing against Des Walker, I don't know. Extremely good player, Des.
And Manchester United have been looking a lot towards Jesper Olsen down their left-hand side.
Yes, Jesper's seen a lot of the ball, but I don't think he's perhaps made the best use of it. Jesper has the ability to wrong foot people, I've noticed in the first half, but he doesn't have that explosive burst to get away from them and consequently get the space to get good crosses into the box. And when he has done, of course, his crossing has left a little bit to be desired. And indeed, Colin Gibson as well. He's made some tremendous forward runs, but the final ball into the box, as I said earlier, has been left a lot to be desired.
Thanks, Ian. No substitutions at half-time. Garden. Wilkinson usually the furthest forward for Forest, with Clough prepared to come and get involved in midfield. Although there's been a lot of talk about Nottingham Forest being downhearted by their defeat at Manchester City on Tuesday, sometimes young players simply get on with the job and don't think too deeply about the effects of one defeat. So far, and still a long way to go in this match, it seems the way with Nottingham Forest. Chettle. Oh, Carl, that was overconfident, really. Caught Clough on the wrong foot, but Manchester United could not capitalise. Maybe now with Olsen. Well, was Davenport, was he backing in or was he pushed? Referee thought maybe there was an infringement by both players and let play go on. Garden. One of the options open to Alex Ferguson is to push Norman Whiteside further and further forward, but Olsen now is away from Chettle. Off the post from Davenport. Whiteside. That is the closest. Peter Davenport, who's not had the best of luck since he's been a Manchester United player, and that would have been a goal of rich satisfaction against Forest. Clough, that's perfect for Carr. The sprinter in full cry. Wilkinson, though, has the check, and there's nobody else up for Forest. Finally now, the other troops have arrived. Rice. Beat Anderson. He's a strange player, really, Brian Rice. At times, he looks weak on the ball and out of place in the First Division, but he's got one or two tricks, as befits a Scotsman from Hibs. Here's Robson, and the captain provides some inspiration, as he's done countless times before. But just look at Forest again. Everybody aware of their job when the opposition are in possession. Robson. Here's Moran. But they've stifled them in midfield, and in fact, Forest could have broken then. But Webb wasn't aware what was happening, and here goes Robson. Goal! Skimmed beyond Sutton. Manchester United were in need of a spot of good fortune and some drive, and there's none better at providing the latter than the England captain. But Steve Sutton will be furious with himself. He really ought to have been able to keep the low shot out. An hour played, Manchester United level. And now we do have a different complexion put on the match. Robson. the higher you get in the game, the more the critics will have their say, and there have been one or two in the Manchester area who have felt that Manchester United haven't got the goals from Brian Robson recently that he had been able to contribute in the past, but never rule out great players. And he made some luck there that his team badly needed. Whiteside. So Manchester United have come from behind again, and Robson with the supposed weaker foot. And after this match, let's wrap him up in cotton wool and send him to Yugoslavia. Claire. It breaks for Robson. They've got a second bite at it. Whiteside. Oh, they're flying in now. Norman Whiteside. And this time, absolutely no blame attached to Steve Sutton. From the moment that he slipped Chettle, he wasted no time, and that was top locker. 2 goals in 5 minutes, both struck from outside the Nottingham Forest penalty area. And one apiece from 2 of the game's great competitors. Manchester United have clawed their way into the lead. And sometimes, whatever the level of football, if the plan doesn't work out at the start, you just have to graft for it. And really, that's what United have done. Pearce. This is Webb. Wilkinson. Certainly dictated a change of policy from Nottingham Forest now. They can't just rely on the breaks after soaking up pressure. And they've responded well enough, without as yet making a genuine chance to equalise. Stuart Pearce shaping for a long throw. Des Walker, who's never scored. This is actually his 100th league game. He takes quite a lot of ribbing from his teammates about not having contributed at least 1 goal. Norman Whiteside, not fully fit at the start, has certainly done his job. Gordon Strachan comes on for Alex Ferguson. Anderson. Clock going beyond Wilkinson if he could win it. And Kevin Moran came into the back of Paul Wilkinson and away from the ball. There's a little square up. It led to nothing. Forest now have another free kick. Foster's height may be a weapon here for them. And he got his head to it. Walsh had started to come. In fact, was caught almost in no man's land. Had Foster been able to give a little bit more direction rather than height to his header, it looped And Walsh was able to get back and push it over the top. He's in there again. Clough. Pearce! Oh, my word! Manchester United, who've been peppering away at the other end from distance, 2 goals hit with left-footed strikes, but how about this one from Stuart Pearce? .7 minutes. It's 2-2. And what a spectacular display of shooting we've seen in the second half. Foster, who helped make it all possible with his presence at set plays. Olsen. Chettle did well for Forest then. Moran and Wilkinson. It's a duel in which the temperature is rising. And the match is back in the melting pot. And the irony is that Alex Ferguson has made no secret of his admiration for Stuart Pearce. But that admiration there will be tempered with great disappointment. It's pegged Manchester United back. Anderson. I think he was happy to fall, Gordon Strachan. But this is a moment of potential for Manchester United. And perilous, possibly, for Nottingham Forest. If there is to be a 5th goal in the game, there'll be scarcely time to strike back for the team that concedes it. Robson! That's the talent that makes him stand out. Getting in there, even if the header infuriated him. Good tackle by Pearce. Wilkinson. Credit to Nottingham Forest. They don't lack ambition. 2-2 would be a very useful result. But from the moment, really, that Pearce equalised, they've pursued the game and a possible winning goal. But as yet, Clough unable to win it as he did here 2 seasons ago. Walker. We're into stoppage time. Duxbury. Pearce is there again. Strachan has to go in quickly. Chettle, it's not a clearing header. Wilson, Leclerc holding him off. And Webb. With a clearance that said everything, really, in the manner it was executed. Just get it away. Strachan. 4 in the middle for Manchester United. And there's a corner if there's time for it to be taken. Robson was just asking the referee how much there was left. Garton. Oh. It's the last action. Brian Robson did spark a second-half revival for Manchester United after they were trailing to Paul Wilkinson's first-half goal. A splendid second for United from Norman Whiteside. But then 13 minutes from time, Stuart Pearce for Forest, who bounced back from that Littlewoods Cup flop at Main Road by taking a point away from Old Trafford. Alex Ferguson completes his first year in charge next weekend, and he knows the recipe for success here still needs one or two more ingredients to turn these draws into victories.